Here is the battery gauge for the CyberPower ups that I'm going to be putting a new battery pack in. This thing's been plugged in for a couple years now, maybe 3 years. I don't even know how long, probably 2, 3, 4 years. And it just shut off again. You can see it's plugged in, but it just shut off, and you can see the bottom thing, the battery charger, the battery capacity, it's all the way down at the bottom. Now it should be all the way up at the top because it's plugged in. It's really hard to see there's this thing. It just went off. 1, 2, 3, there's five things on the bar and on the bar graph, and it just zeroed out. Can I make it light up again? Okay, so it just, there's no battery capacity left in this thing. There's 2 batteries in there. I bought 2 batteries. I'm going to be taking this thing apart. I'm going to show you how to put new batteries in it. I'll give you the model number, the battery numbers, the amperage and everything. I believe that this has got cut. I have a CyberPower Ups unit here. I purchased this at Costco a few years ago. These things are great. Let me show you the back of it. This is the side. It's a little dusty. It's been sitting out, collecting dust till I bought some batteries. I have 2 of these. And at the beginning of the video, you should have seen I believe I showed you at the beginning of the video, you saw a clip showing the battery display and how it was not working. So the problem that I'm having is I've got all of my computer stuff connected up to the ups, and in the middle of the night it will just start going beep, and that is the alarm showing that the battery is completely dead inside the unit and it is not going to work anymore, and I have to power it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to replace the battery in these. If you like my videos, do a thumbs up, subscribe, a like. If there's a product you want me to review, if I can get a hold of it, I will do the review. And if you want to donate to my PayPal channel to keep me going, if you want to donate to my PayPal account to keep my YouTube channel going, ask for my info. So here we go. I'm going to set this up on the tripod, and we're going to take this thing apart, and I'll show you. I didn't buy an original CyberPower battery. They are about twice as expensive as if you buy an off-brand third-party battery. And the only difference, I believe, is 1 amp difference. So it is not worth the money to buy the manufacturer's battery. All right, let me get this on the tripod and we'll start taking it apart. So you take these things apart dependent on the model number. What you want to do is you want to look at the bottom. This is the bottom of the case. You want to look at the bottom. Some of these units have 2 screws at the front, and you take the 2 screws out and then you fold the front upward and you slide your 2 batteries out of the front. I'm looking at the bottom of this, and it looks like there's a screw over here and a screw over here. So I'm assuming that the bottom is going to come out, or maybe this whole side is going to slide off. So let's see what happens. Large head Phillips screwdriver so you don't strip anything. And take your screws out. You don't want to be messing with the back of this unit. You don't want to take screws out on the back. And there are no screws on the front that I'm aware of. So when you take the cover off in the front, oh, this is much easier. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the one with the front, it's a big hassle. You got to kind of loosen, wiggle the front off, and then the whole battery unit slides out. This looks like they set it up a lot. Oh, much easier for this brand. So let me get the cover out of the way, and I want to show you what this looks like. Yeah, this is a much better design. I'm not sure if the batteries are going to come out easily, but it looks like, let's see what happens. So we've got this front over here. This front might have to pop off. I think it might. Is the back going to come out? The back comes out without a problem. So maybe I can take the back out and then slide the other battery forward, to the back, And what do we have here? I'm looking for it. This says 12 volts, 7 amps. I believe the replacement battery that I bought is a 6 ampere. So you want to make sure that you look at your power wires and see how this thing is wired. Maybe get your cell phone out, take a photograph of everything before you mess with it so that you can put it back together the right way. I'm going to lift this battery out. Make sure this thing is unplugged. And be careful touching contacts. You were still dealing with current in here. It could possibly hurt you. So I'm sliding this thing out just to see what I've got here. I'm probably going to go put this on the tripod right now. Always easier to do things when you are not recording a video for people to watch. I've got a piece of plastic that came out of the case. Looks like some of the machining or milling, the plastic just came out. So looking to see if there's anything that I could slide up. I can't really slide this out of the way. I could probably take the front out, take the front off. I don't want to pry it off if I can't take it apart, so maybe I don't need to with this. I'm going to pull this right battery out, and we have these power lugs over here. Let me slide this out. Okay, so that's slid out. There we go. So it's slid out, the positive slid out, and the yellow, which is the negative, slid out. So I'm going to put that over out of the way, and hopefully this battery will slide forward too. It will. So this is much better. You need to watch what you are doing when you buy these batteries. I think I'm going to be okay. I cross-referenced the battery with the model number, but there are two different size lugs. I don't know, I think it's an F1 and an F2, and I believe they are a little bit different in size. So, not that you couldn't get around it if you needed to, but make sure that you look at the documentation, find out what you're getting. I'm hoping this thing slides this way so I don't have to mess with anything, so I don't have to take off the front cover. I'm going to try to slide it this way to get it out. Okay, that worked. And remember, on this one, I've got the battery set over there. The positive is going to go on the top. And on this one, the yellow, which is, I don't know what it is. I'm going to remove this lug. The black lug is on top. And these things are really on there, very tight. So I work on very expensive million-dollar pieces of equipment, so I'm much more gentle than a lot of people who do these videos that just yank things apart and act like an auto mechanic. I don't do that. As you can tell, I'm very gentle when I touch stuff. So I'm going to wiggle this thing off. You might want to have some needle nose pliers, but I don't want to use needle nose. Ow! I don't want to use needle nose because I don't want to put marks on anything. As I said, I work on expensive stuff, and the whole goal is not to ruin it or to damage it. So, so there we go. So the positive on one of these is yellow, and the positive on the other one is red. So let's turn this battery over, and we've got the exact same thing, the 12 volts, 7 amps. So I'm going to go put this on the table in the exact same position that I took it out. And now I'm going to get the new batteries. I have two of these, as I said, so I'm going to be doing 2 videos on this. Okay, I've got everything ready to go in. And remember, on this one, you want to check and make sure you've got the protective cover over here. Maybe I could use the same one, I don't know. Or is it held on? No, it's glued on. So, on this one, let me turn this over. This is a 12 volt, 7 amp. They're going to get a little free advertising here because the one that I bought, which was cheaper than buying the one from the company, is 7.5 amps. So I can take this. Looks like this is a protective cover, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off this protective cover, and the difference is With this has got a little plastic cover on it for protection. This one doesn't, and I don't think I can remove that thing. No, I can't. So, not a big issue. I'm going to, on this one, alright, so I ended up getting the right tabs, the right lugs. Make sure you put them on all the way. You want good contact. I'm going to slide this down. And I'm going to push it inward over there. And this is the other one. We have the positive on the top. Really important. You don't want to plug this thing in with the wrong connection. You're supposed to dispose of these properly. You're not supposed to put it in the trash can because that's illegal. So I don't really have any place else to put it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I admit, this is saving you millions of dollars in tech repair fees. Okay, the new one. I'm going to take off this protective cover. Be careful where you put these. You don't want it to fall on the ground and have the dog chew on them, or the baby, so, or if you have a baby. So I'm going to be careful because we've got some power in here now, even though I'm not worried about it shorting or shocking me. So I'm going to twist this a little bit, try to get this on. Oh boy, the dog wants to play. Every time I make a video, every time. Let me show you. Attention, and she says, you better stop that video and play. I turned it a little bit to the side because that's how I took it out. It's going to be a little easier to get this back in. Let's zoom in just a bit. So this is a really awkward, it's very awkward setup compared to the one that comes out on the front, but they give you enough room to do this. Just don't put don't put your hand across both terminals. No, don't do that. So with this one, you put the terminals on, make sure they're lined up properly, held down, put it in, slide it forward. I hope this goes in. Man, I hope this goes in. There's always something, isn't there? There's always something. Oh boy. It's a tight fit, guys. It's always a tight fit. Okay, insert it in there into that tight fit. You see how it went in there perfectly? How much easier could that be? Where did I put the cover? Okay, come on, hold on. Looks like everything's done. Get the cover. How does this work? Slide it from the bottom. Slide it in, raise that up. Pop it in. Everything looks good. Got my 2 screws. So this is my spare one that I bought that really hasn't been used much. The batteries are probably fine, but they're old, hasn't been plugged in a couple years, hasn't really been charged. So I thought I'd go out and spend lots of money on batteries so I could make a video for everybody showing them how to do this. And so I'm out some bucks. That's okay. Always good to help people and make good videos. So I want to put this other screw in here, and it's got to be lined up properly because it's trying to cross thread. And so we got that screw in there. That was very easy to do. And I'm going to get these batteries out of the way, and I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to see if it blows up or if it turns on. I'm going to plug it in now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I have to press the power button for anything to happen. Okay, let's press the power button. I don't know if it's got to be charged up first. Oh. Okay, so we've got something. What do we have? What we have is a battery that I just put in here that already shows a full charge. I bought this over a month ago. It's been sitting on the floor in the box. So this battery is already powered up and charged. let me see if I can get any other info on this thing. 119 volts, but I'm going to leave it plugged in overnight and charged up, and then I should be good. So that is how you change the battery on the CyberPower. I don't even know what the model number of this is. There's the model number. Kind of hard to read, but I'll put it in the description. So again, as I was saying, with mine, this was very easy to do. All I had to do was go to the bottom, do the 2 screws. Other models, you have 2 screws on the front. You take the front, you do the screws, you slide the front off. You have to wiggle it. It will pop off easily. You can put your hand in there, but you got to do a little wiggling to pry it, to break the plastic lock loose. That comes out, and then you have your 2 batteries that are sliding in, and you just pull them both out that way. Here I am again. We're going to be doing another one of these, and I didn't even know it, but I obviously have 2 different models, so I don't know if the battery is going to work in this one. And remember, on the one that I just did, we had a screw over here and a screw over here. Well, on this one, we have a screw on the front. So I'm assuming that this is the one. Usually there's 2 screws over here, so I'm assuming that this is the one where the battery pops out from the front. And if it is, this will be really good, because then you'll get a chance to see what I was talking about. I don't see anything that allows the sides to slide downward like we saw in the last model. So right now, as I'm doing this, I just started up my other PC. I plugged the ups in. It's working perfectly. I'm really happy that I didn't have to charge it. But I don't know how this thing comes out. I'm just assuming again that this will slide forward. Don't really know why there are not 2 screws here. They don't really tell you how to take this thing off. Probably because they don't. Well, I think on their website they tell you how to do it. But I don't really see any additional screws anywhere. And there's nothing that says how this thing comes off. So to make it easier on myself, I'm going to move the camera back a little bit. And I'm going to slide this down so that I can lean it over the table and not hurt myself. Okay, so how does this come off? Wow. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to break the front of this. You would think that there would be 2 screws here. That's why this just doesn't make any sense. But I've watched some of the other, I can feel. Okay, so it feels like there is a lot of weight in here, because the batteries are gonna slide. Let me press down on the top. Do we have this in the video all the way? I'm going to press down on the top of the case. It's come out just a little bit, I think. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Oh, okay, there we go. Something. All right, so I'm sliding upward. So maybe it slides. Okay, that's what it is. See, they don't even tell you. That's what you need to do. That's why you watch my videos, and that's why you donate to my channel, because I spend the money and the time to help you out. So what you do with this one, you take the screw out, and you take the front, and you slide it downward. Hold on a second. I gotta shut off something in the background. Okay, so you slide it downward, and then the front just pops off. Now, put it on its side. Be careful here. You don't want to yank on the front of this thing, because there are wires going to the power switch. This is the style that I was telling you about, so this is good. Again, you notice I'm not grabbing like all these really brute repair people on here that just go crazy when they work on electronics. Slide it out of the way. Don't break your wires. Don't bend anything. Okay. And what does this say here? Caution, please lean up unit to one side and pull out this plastic strip to remove battery. All right. And then we have another message over here. Oh, I see. So we've got a battery over here, and we've got a battery over here, and we've got another one of those things. So, okay, so that's what it is. They're both going to come out at once. So we have red to red, and we have black to black, And you should have enough. If you put it back the way it came, the way it is, you obviously will be able to close it up without a problem. So grab each terminal and just start rocking back and forth. That came out. Rocking back and forth. Okay, that came out. And so I'm going to take those two wires and try to get them out of the way a little bit if I can. Yeah, can I do that? So now we've got these two wires that are in the center of the two batteries, and I don't know if it's going to come out. It's probably going to come out as a pair taped up. So I'm going to grab this strip and very easy. Okay. So I don't know how long these wires are inside there. We'll find out. I don't know if they have to slide in or... Oh, they're pretty long. Okay, so obviously what they did is they wired this the right way so that you can take this thing apart. So I'm going to slide this back a little. And wow, is that heavy. Okay, so what do we have here? What we have here is we have a 12-volt... Trying to look for the amperage on this thing. 12-volt, 0.34 WPC. I don't know what that means. 1.3. I don't see any amperage. That's really weird. These batteries are about 5 pounds each, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my cover out of the way so that I can work on this thing without the battery falling on my foot. That's not going to go anywhere. All right. And you have these plastic things, the pull tab, so let's see what they did. Is this all tape? This is all tape. Taped all the way down to the bottom and probably wraps all the way around the battery to the top over here and then back down. So let me, I should be able to reuse this. I think I should be able to. Oh boy. Put that on the table so it doesn't fall over. And what I'm going to do to make life easier for me is, let me get a marker over here. I'm going to put a little marker at the back so I know exactly where this thing should be on the edge. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, do these just come apart? These just come apart. This is really well designed. So these come apart. And we can see the wires in there. Let's zoom on in there a little bit. And is this a little plastic piece that they put in here? Yeah, it looks like this is a little piece of, this plastic has to be put back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the right battery first, and then I'm going to go in and do the left battery so that I don't get mixed up. Just like this battery over here, the terminals are the same on all of these. So we are going to have a positive on the bottom. And I don't want to mess up the curves of the wire, so I'm going to be careful. It's a little sticky. Okay, so that, I see what's going on. So that is going to connect. So we'll keep it that way. And this is going to stay positioned that way. So we're just going to take the positive, take off the terminals on the new one. Slide it down on its side. Put the new one on. Plus, remember, we had this perfectly lined up like this. And when you put this back together, you might have to bend your tangs flat onto the battery. Make sure it makes a nice, secure connection because there's a lot of power going through these things. So I don't know what holds this on. Maybe it just slides. Maybe it just sticks on there. I have no idea what's holding this on. Okay, so, wow. You definitely need to be careful when you're doing this. So on this one, you can see the wires. Does this even pop off? I don't really want to mess with this too much. This is probably just being held on tightly by the wires inside there. I don't really want to screw with it too much. Looks like the red wire is looping over there and maybe the black wire looped over there. How does this come off? Does this come off? I think it's just being held on by the wires right now, which makes it kind of awkward. All right, so I should be able to pull the black wire out. We have the red wire on the bottom. We have this black wire on the top, so let me see if I can do it that way. Oh! Okay, so positive is going to go over there. Take off the terminals on the new battery. So it's almost done. All we got to do is get this stuff to make contact. It's kind of awkward how they jammed all the wires in here. If you needed to, you could, it's really tight. It's very tight. Tight is always good. So, trying to position myself so I don't block the camera, but I can get the wires in. And if you wanted to, you could just go in there and yank all the wires through here and push them back on. But I don't want to do that. Less work I do, the better, even if it takes longer. So, can I make contact with that? Can I get it to slide on there? Got it. Let me get the black negative terminal to slide on there. Oh, come on. Wow, this is definitely not hard, but not easy. Let's get the black wire on there and we're done. Push it on all the way, bend it down. Oh, boy. And now, the only trick is you gotta get this to close up and get all the wires down like they were before, and you're good. And I'm not gonna, well, I've got it. I just have to press it together and then tape it down, and then I'll finish off the video. Most important thing, you really need to bend those tabs down when you were closing this up. Once I bent the tabs down, I was able to squeeze this thing together. I got the tape on part way. The black line is lining up at the back. Get the old batteries out of the way now. And we're going to bend this downward. I'm going to be really careful because I don't want this whole thing to separate now that I've got it held together. Ooh. Do not want that to happen. Okay. So this is, yep, it just separated. And that's probably going to happen because this is not the original stickiness now that I took it off. It's not really holding together that well. Let me put it on its side. I don't know if this is going to line up and close. I'm not really sure yet. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Get the batteries out of the way. Put those on the floor. Get the tabs out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tabs out of the way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the unit back. Can I zoom out? Zoom out. I'm going to turn the unit back this way. Get the cover out of the way. I'm going to try to slide it in the way I took it out. Make sure that the wires are downward. You're going to want them out of the way. There's a little channel and the thing should slide in. So you're going to want that stuff out of the way. I'd love to put some tape on the battery to hold it together, but I don't know if these probably don't get warm, but I don't want to have a problem with the tape melting or getting dirt on here. So I'm just going to hold the batteries together. I'm going to see if I can slide this in there. I got my tangs in the way. I was expecting that. Try to get this over the edge again. Get this out of here. You really need to get these lugs out of the way. And I'm going to... It doesn't look like it's held together. I don't know if it's going to slide in. No, it just separated. Okay. There's a lot. The tape is very helpful, but once the tape comes off, you're in trouble. I can see it's trying to separate because of the tabs. The lugs are trying to... All right. This is not an easy job, especially if it's on a table. You can see how I'm trying to press together to get these, get the two batteries to push together. So, push together. I hope the wires didn't slide in there. I hope they're... Okay, good. They didn't slide in. Inserted. I'm going to bend this thing up like we had originally. Remember, it was out of the way. It's not perfectly lined up like it was before. I'm going to... black wire was done last, so we'll do that first. Make sure these things are really pressed together, because you're dealing with a lot of current. I think it's done. Okay, that is definitely done. I still don't know about the black one. That's done. Oh boy, and there's a lot of room in here, so I think they give you a lot of room because these lugs are... Okay, so let me remember when I put this thing in. Yeah, that's... Battery doesn't want to go in any further. It looks like it's lined up properly. Okay, so we see the little piece over here. This is made to slide in and go upward. There's two legs over here, the legs here, so we slide it in. Slide upward and go to the bottom. Where did I put that screw? Oh boy. Okay, never lose your screw. Penetrate the case with your screw, insert the screw in the hole. Don't strip it, because this is the only thing that's holding this thing together. Hardly any threads on that. It tightened down. So what I'm going to do now, I'm glad that in this video, I'm sure nobody's going to watch this thing, but nobody's going to watch, nobody's going to leave comments, but I'm sure that, I'm sure happy that I was able to do this with two different models and show how the battery can go in two different ways. So I'm going to plug this thing in now, and it's probably going to beep, 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 beep. I want to make sure that the battery is 100% or close to 100%. Okay. Whew. A little bit of work doing this video. So I'm going to press, disconnect this from the tripod. I'm going to press the power button and we should get a display with a full battery. There we go. Check it out, people. That is what you want. So, if this helped out anybody, that's the whole point. Please donate to the PayPal channel, ask for the info. Support my channel, watch my videos. Thumbs up, subscribe, helps me out a lot as a creator. And make sure you keep watching, click on the notifications so you can see when I put out new stuff. And good luck. Be really careful. Unplug these things before you mess with them. Watch it when you're touching the terminals. You should be okay. You're not going to shock yourself, but still be really careful. You're dealing with power and electricity. If you don't feel comfortable, have somebody who knows what they're doing help you out. It's a very simple job. Just be patient. The most important thing, be patient. Take your time, and you should be able to do it.